Their wins flashed brighter than mine ever felt. One night, I sat on the couch, scrolling through LinkedIn, thumb flicking against the glass. Post after post lit up my feed. A colleague buying a new car, another celebrating an overseas holiday, someone else boasting record-breaking sales. Each scroll was like a pinprick. The glow of their photos cast shadows on my own living room. My reflection in the phone screen looked smaller, dimmer. I caught myself muttering, "Why can't I be where they are?" The scroll click of my thumb became its own rhythm, a drumbeat of inadequacy. Each flick louder, heavier, pulling me deeper into the lie that my life, my work, my wins were somehow less. The strangest part? I wasn't even happy for them. I wanted to be, but envy drowned it out. My chest tightened, my stomach twisted, and suddenly, success didn't feel like success anymore. It felt like failure, disguised in someone else's celebration. That's the danger of comparison. It steals the joy you've earned and replaces it with a story that you're always behind. I put the phone down, but the heaviness stayed. It wasn't the screen that hurt me. It was the mirror it held up. Their wins flashed brighter than mine ever felt. Leoism, quote, Section 1. Maybe you felt that too, like someone else's highlight reel turned your whole journey into a shadow. Comparison doesn't need an invitation. It sneaks in, everywhere. In business, it showed up in sales figures. A peer landed a big client, and suddenly my steady progress felt small. Even my own milestones seemed invisible next to their flashy wins. At home, it crept into family life. My kids would ask why we couldn't travel like their cousins, or why Dad wasn't driving the kind of car they saw on TV. I felt the pressure not only in myself, but reflected in their innocent questions. And culturally, comparison was woven into pride. Growing up, every family gathering included subtle measurements: who had the better job, the nicer house, the more successful kids. It was rarely said outright, but the message was clear. Worth was stacked like a scoreboard. Do you know that feeling? When someone else's good news makes your chest tighten. When instead of celebrating, you shrink inside. When success feels like a competition you never signed up for, but can't seem to leave. That's the strain comparison brings. It doesn't just weigh your work, it weighs your worth. I wish someone had told me, your path is yours, and that's enough. Instead, I told myself, if I'm not where they are, I'm behind. And that belief ate away at every victory I earned. I thought success had only one measure: Leoism. Quote, Section 2. The scroll of my thumb wasn't just movement. It was a spiral, deeper into envy, further from my own ground. The breaking point came one night after another scroll session. I set the phone down, but the envy stayed with me, humming in my chest like static. My breath felt shallow, my shoulders tense, my jaw clenched. I muttered out loud, "Why can't I be where they are?" That was my crisis cue. My body told the story before my words did. Eyes strained from staring at the screen, stomach knotted with shame, my chest tight, as if every scroll pressed me further into myself. And in that moment, I realized their lane isn't mine. Their wins don't erase mine. So I turned to the reset. Reset. Method 1 is journaling prompt. I grabbed my notebook and wrote, "List 3 wins unique to my path." At first, my pen hovered, but then I wrote, "Building a business with my wife from the ground up. Being home, even late, to tuck my kids in. Surviving years of volatility without giving up." These weren't flashy, but they were mine. And as I wrote them, my chest loosened. Reset. Method 2 is visualization. I closed my eyes and pictured a long road. My lane is steady, clear. Theirs ran beside me, crossing at times, but never replacing mine. I imagined planting both feet firmly in my lane. The ground held me. Reset. Method 3 is breath work. Release envy. I inhaled deeply, feeling the envy rise. Then I exhaled, imagining it leaving me like smoke through my chest. Each breath made more space. By the third exhale, my jaw softened, my stomach unclenched. And in that practice, I noticed a shift. The phone on the table was no longer a mirror of my lack. It was just glass, just pixels, just noise. I whispered, "Notice what changed for you, even if just a little." After that reset, envy lost its grip. It still flickered, but it no longer ruled me. My path is mine, and it's enough. And I let the truth steady me. Enoughness comes when he honors his own lane, not theirs. That sentence cracked something open. The phone screen that once looked like a distorted mirror now looked like glass, see-through, harmless. I closed the app, opened my notebook, and wrote one more accomplishment of my own. My breath deepened. My shoulders lowered. That was my symbolic moment, no longer shrinking, but standing in my own ground. And I said aloud, "But my lane is enough because it's mine." Leoism. Quote, Section 4. Let's practice this together. Think of one place where comparison eats at you. Maybe work, family, or social media. Take a breath. Inhale, exhale, and whisper, "My lane is enough." Now grab a notebook and write 3 wins that belong only to you. Not the kind anyone else can measure, but the kind rooted in your own path. In business, it might be one loyal client or a steady year you carried through storms. At home, it might be a bedtime story you didn't miss or a moment of laughter at the table. In culture, it might be honoring your roots while carving your own way forward. Comparison will always tempt, but you can anchor yourself in your lane again and again. Even one breath, one list, one win is enough. The scroll still tempts me, but now I see it differently. Their wins don't take from me. They expand what's possible. Comparison fades when I honor my ground. Leoism. Quote, Section 6. That truth steadies me tonight. And I remind myself again, my path is mine, and it's enough. So here's my reflection for you. Whose wins have you been measuring yourself against? And what win of your own could you honor instead? For me, it was building my family's stability, even in storms. For you, it might be something else. But the power is the same. Your ground is yours. And before I close, let me share gratitude. Tonight, I'm grateful for the road under my feet. Not theirs, mine.